Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you some pro tips on how to make a wonderful, visually interesting PowerPoint. This is not about just how to make a good PowerPoint. It's about being creative. So remember, that's one of our 21st century skills. How can you be creative? How can you make something that's unique, original, that is visually interesting, that makes you happy, that makes your classmates happy? So, right now I got my Google Chrome, I got my browser up, I got quite a few Google image searches going. I'm going to minimize that for right now. I'm going to click on the Windows Start button. PowerPoint is right here. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily pop up. So if you just type into your search P-O-W-E-R, it'll pop up. And then all you got to do is click on it. It'll open up PowerPoint. It gives you all these fabulous options. If you want to do one of these themes, you can select it right here and get started. Personally, I'm a fan of the blank presentation. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click up here to make it a little smaller for now. And I want to get rid of everything. So if I click on the edge of that and I hit delete, or hit backspace, those things go away. I want to make it as original and mine as possible. So there's the start of my PowerPoint. Completely blank slate, blank canvas. I want to have lots of pictures. Putting words on there is pretty easy, but I want to gather up a lot of pictures. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to pull this back up. Let's pretend I'm making a PowerPoint on sticky notes. So the sticky note was invented when, it was invented by who, etc. Because I'm doing a product investigation. So I need to get some sticky note pictures. I like this one right here. It's got a really high quality. So that could probably fill up. It could become the background of one of my slides. So I think I'm going to pick this picture. I simply just drag it and drop it on my desktop. It's called Sticky Note U something HTML something something storage. Let's pretend I want some of these yellow ones. I'm just going to drag those over there and drag another one over there. This pops up. There is already a file with the same name in this location. What you have to do, and this is one of the reasons I'm making the video, just to make it easier on you, is you have to change the name of your images sometimes, because it'll just give it a generic name. So the yellow one that I dragged on there, it calls it image. If I try to drag this one on there, it wants to call it image as well. If I scroll down, and pick this stack, it wants to call it image as well. So you need to change the name every time you put an image on the desktop. I'll just call this one yellow 1 and hit enter. Simply click on the name itself and then it allows you to change that name. So click on the name and then I'll call it multicolor stickies. And all of a sudden I can start collecting all these images that I want to use. Alright, I want some funny images. I don't want just sticky notes. So I chose this goofy looking unicorn. And I'm going to click on his name and change it to unicorn. And then I'm going to select this squirrel that has a baseball bat and a helmet. And then I'll change his name to Squirrel. Beautiful. That should be a great start for my PowerPoint. I'll minimize that. I might want to come back to it. Alright, here I am. Slide number 1. This thing's gotta be beautiful. It's gotta be creative. It's gotta get people's attention. So I am going to up here are all your PowerPoint tabs. There's your designs. If you want to use a template, you can find them there. If you want to insert pictures, if you want to insert your word art, a text box, that can be found under the Insert tab. Transitions. I'm not a big fan of transitions. Sometimes they add to the PowerPoint, sometimes they take away. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Animations. I haven't really messed around with those too much. They might help some of your graphics if you're putting a bunch of different pictures on a slide. They can, make them appear in a visually interesting way. So you might not be using PowerPoint for your whole life, but you will be probably creating presentations for quite a large chunk of it, especially as you go through high school and possibly into college. So whatever program you're using, you want to make it interesting, you want to make it look good, you want to make it professional. Mine might be a little goofy, but I'm hoping the first slide will at least be visually interesting and definitely entertaining. So I'm going to click on Design, and way over here on the right hand side is Format Background. I'm going to click on that, and this is going to let me change the whole background of this slide. I can do a picture or texture fill, I can do a pattern fill, and it gives you a bunch of different options so you can make it as unique as you are. I want a picture on there, so I'm going to pick picture or texture fill and then insert picture from file, because I have some on my desktop that I want to use. So I click on file, this window pops up, I click on desktop, and I want this multicolor sticky image to be my background. So I select it, I hit insert, and there she is. That looks pretty nice. I'm a fan. So let's get some words in there. Word art, yes please. I'm going to say the sticky note. If I right click's going to come in pretty handy in this class, whether we're doing PowerPoints, brochures, or at the end of the class when we're doing the AutoCAD stuff, the computer-aided drafting. Right click will always give you more options than what you really see available, and sometimes it's shortcuts. I want to right click, and then I'm going to fill this shape with I'm going to go with a white background. That makes it stand out. I'm going to right click again. I'm going to make, I'm going to highlight all my words. I'm going to make them as gigantic as possible. If you click on it, you can drag it somewhere. I'll have it right there in the middle. I think I like that. I'm going to go back to insert. I'm going to do more word art. I like word art. I think it works out better than text boxes. I'm going to use something different this time. Maybe the striped letter here. And I'm just going to add something that, says let's say history and purpose, because that's going to describe what this presentation has. I want that to be lowercase. History and purpose. So the sticky note, it's history and purpose. So I'm going to right click on this box, and hopefully, so there are different places. If you right click on the letters, it brings up different options than if you click on the edge of the box and right click. I think that works. It's right in the middle. Now I can add more pictures to it. I'll go back up here to insert, and I believe I might actually just be able to drag and drop these pictures. So let's say I want, that works out okay. if I just drag it from my desktop and drop it on there, then I can resize this squirrel. I can put him on a sticky note. He's lined up nicely with the bottom of that. I'm going to minimize or make it smaller, and I'm going to put this unicorn on there somewhere. He's a little too big right now, so I just click on that box. I'll line him up. He's even with the middle of that squirrel. It gives me that like dash line to help me out, to help out my formatting. And there they are. I could outline them, I guess. If you click on your picture, you can do a bunch of things. You know, using that right-click button, again, gives you all kinds of different options. Send to back, bring to front, save picture, format picture. I can crop it. I can do different styles. That's pretty exciting. I didn't even know that was an option. Let's do that. Let's class it up a little bit. Style. How about that? Looking good. As always, file, save as, put it on your desktop, give it a name, sticky presentation. Click save, close it. There's my presentation right there, ready to be opened and worked on again at the end of the period. I of course know that I have to upload it to Canvas in order for it to be there the next day. So don't be afraid to be original, be unique, be creative, and click around. There are a lot of options up here. There are even more options when we get into the computer-aided drafting software. Left click, right click, look at your mouse. There's a left click and there's a right click. They will give you different things, and based on where your cursor is, you will end up with different things. So please make something amazing. Thank you.